Call law Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash, Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahushai, Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahushai. Double honors to the elder apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well through the Spirit, and a mighty shalom to the hopeful elect in the same Spirit. Lord willing that they continue to endure and be sincere in the same Spirit. Shalom to the Akwatiyam, believers of His faith and His truth. Lord willing they continue to pursue their lot, which is being a loving, excellent, and virtuous wife. And Lord willing the most have mercy on the other brothers and sisters that's not in the faith. This is, a Yahweh Shai type of conversation. I was on TikTok with, some brothers that some of them is affiliates and some of them are in Great Millstone. And the brother was live and he was having brothers on a live and we was, bringing out precepts. And it was just one point where he was like, one of the an important law, which all of them is. But this one important law is that we should love the Lord with all our heart and all our mind and all our soul. And brothers was just talking about that the whole time. And that hit me. I said, I might have to do a video on this. And, got done with that live on TikTok and did my reading, and I still had it in the mind. Matthew 22, verse 37, when Yahweh Shai spoke those words. And even though you got Deuteronomy 10 and 12, Deuteronomy 30 and 6, right? The Lord is going to circumcise your heart and your children so that they'll love Yahweh Shai with all their heart, their mind, and their soul to do all the commandments that He have given us. So let's just start with this, and Lord willing, the Spirit take it somewhere else. This is Matthew chapter 22, verse 37. Yahweh Shai said unto them, Thou shalt love Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai thy power with all thy heart and with all thy soul and with all thy mind. This is the first and great commandment, and the second is like unto it, Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. On these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets. Now, even just with, loving the Lord with all your heart, which is, again, your mind, but even more with heart, what people say when you do something with all your heart, you doing it with passion, you being sincere, and with all thy soul, right? And let me get this in 1 John 3 and 18, because this the love that we should be loving the Lord with all our heart, our mind, and soul. This is 1 John chapter 3 and verse 18. My little children, let us not love in word, neither in tongue, but in deed and in truth, right? Our actions in this truth, this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, that's how we should be loving the Lord. Even, towards our brothers and sisters, because Yahweh Shai laid His life down for us. So for you men, you're not just only doing this for yourself to get your spot in of that number, the elect. You're doing this for the elect, right? Yahweh Shai didn't only just lay His life down so He can have the same glory He had before He came down. He laid Himself down for the children of Israel, the righteous and the wicked, right? Let me get this one too. Ezekiel 21 verse 4. This is what we brought this out too on there. Ezekiel 21 verse 4. This is what it reads. I'll start at verse 1. It says, And the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face towards Jerusalem and drop thy sword toward the holy places and prophesy against the land of Israel. And say to the land of Israel, Thus saith Yahweh, behold, I am against thee, and I will draw forth my sword out of the sheath, and will cut off from thee the righteous and the wicked. Seeing then that I will cut off from thee the righteous and the wicked, therefore shall my sword go forth out of his sheath against all flesh from the south into the north. Right? The Lord cut off the righteous and the wicked of Israel, man. Cut us in multiple ways, man. Stripped us from our land, stripped us from our identity. Right? 2 Esdras 2:7, it tells you that our names was removed. Jeremiah 7:17-4, Isaiah 65:15. The Lord is calling his children by a whole nother name. Going back to what I said, I think it was Friday, during my bike ride. You have to know that all of this is mercy. For you to have this truth, for you to come back into this thing, this is all mercy. So we should be showing the Lord that we love him by our actions. You know, yes, I'm doing videos. But outside of videos, I got to meditate on something. I got to meditate on the scriptures. Meditate on just like what camp that brothers had yesterday. It's something that came out, and I should be meditating. I should be thinking. I should be calling on the Lord. When you pray, you should be begging the Lord for an increase. Wisdom, knowledge, understanding. You should be begging the Lord to guide your step. Begging the Lord to control your words or help you with your thoughts. Right? Because we truly need Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Because if not, you're going to be destroyed. We need Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. We need him. He's our life source. Right? I want to get this. This was brought out too. 1 Chronicles, the 16th chapter. This is in history at the time of the kings. And this is, I believe this is David. David is speaking this. Yeah, this is David's song of thanksgiving. This is 1 Chronicles, the 16th chapter, verse 10. It says, glory ye in his holy name. Let the heart of them rejoice that seek Yahweh. Seek Yahweh in his strength. Seek his face continually. Right? To seek the Lord face. We're going to know so much what the Lord has done. And in the best part, you have things that the Lord have done, and we haven't even benefited from it yet. Yes, we got the truth and all of that, but I'm talking about benefit. Yahweh Shai said he go to prepare a place. No, in my Father's house is many mansions, and I go to prepare a place for you. That's 2,000 years ago in Yahweh Shai's time. That was 2 days ago. They got the elect set up for something beautiful for what's to come. He already got you established. Right? The least we can do, the least we can do is love the Lord with all our heart. Like when you look at Colossians 3:23, do whatsoever heartily, like you doing it unto the Lord and not unto men. But even when it comes for us doing things for the Lord, like how a man is leading his house, providing his house, building his house spiritually, right? You want to please the Lord in all your actions, because a man is going to find favor in the Lord if he has a wife. Now that you have a role, the Lord said we got to dwell with them according to knowledge, keep them in order. Don't give them too much freedom. To love him, we're going to do that. Right? Actually, let's go. This is something else that was brought out. Right? Let's go to the Ecclesiasticus, Sirach, the 2nd chapter. I believe going down to verse 15, it says, they that fear Yahweh Shai will not disobey his word, and they that love him will keep his ways. They that fear Yahweh Shai will seek that which is well pleasing unto him, and they that love him shall be filled with the law. How you going to be filled? It's really the Lord that's giving us this increase. It's the Lord that's putting it on a brother to do a lesson, and then you watch that lesson. Jeremiah 10:23. We don't plan our course. We might think we do, but it's all the Lord. It's all Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Verse 17, it says, they that fear Yahweh Bashim Yahushai will prepare their hearts and humble their souls in his sight. We have to prepare for the coming of the Lord. You got to prepare your mind. You gotta prepare your mind for Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. You dealing with somebody that knows your thoughts. Yahushai was the perfect man. And it's hard for us to even fit those shoes. But by the mercy of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, he has given us this blueprint. Right? You go to St. John, the 4th chapter. What did Yahushai say? The true worshipers is those are spirit and of truth. That's how we gonna love the Lord. By walking, speaking, and living of truth and of the spirit. This is how we get our wives in order. This is how you wives get yourself in order. This is how you keep the children in order. This is St. John, the 4th chapter, going straight to the point. Verse 21. I'll start at 21. It says, Yahushua saith unto her, Woman, believe me, the hour cometh when ye shall neither in this mountain nor yet at Jerusalem worship the Father. Ye worship ye know not what. We know what we worship, for salvation is for the Jews. But the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth. For the Father seeketh such to worship him, right? To kneel, to obey, right? And when it goes into the spirit and the truth, the spirit is that stream, that fountain, right? That stream, that fountain of water, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. That truth is Yahushai. That truth is this ministry. The truth is what Yahweh Bashim Yahushai has given us. This truth is what Yahweh Yahushai was building up to lay his life down for us. That right there, wait. Let me read 24. It says, God is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. Those that worship the Heavenly Father. Let's look. I want to get St. John 15 before we close. Let me see something. So when we look up the word worship, G4352, it says to kiss the hand to or towards one, a token of reverence, which is a respect in the New Testament by kneeling or prostrating to do homage to one, or make obeisances, whether in order to express respect or to make supplication, right? Respect, used of homage shown to men in beings of superior rank, right? To God or to Hamashiach, to heavenly beings, to demons, right? But of course, this is talking about Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. We're showing reverence, that respect, or that adore, right? Or showing homage to those that are superior over us. That's a true worshiper. But that worshiper is going to do it in spirit and in truth. Galatians 5:25. If we live in the spirit, we must walk in the spirit. That is a true worshiper. right? 2 Corinthians 2:14. You're going to discern things in the spirit for even for yourself, for your household, and for the sheep, so that you can teach it. Like every lesson, sometimes you might not be bringing out multiple precepts. A brother might just be doing a commentary, but he's speaking in the spirit in some way, somehow. I mean, it's not going to happen, but a brother could be speaking in this like in a spiritual sense, and then don't bring out no scriptures, and the sheep that's watching the video is going to get it. We got work to do. Second Peter's chapter 1 verse 10 in the NLT. You want to work hard to prove yourself to Yahweh Shemel Shai that you can either be those that are called and chosen. You don't want to be somebody that the Lord pluck out of his hand and put you on the left-hand side. So that brings us back to when we talk about loving Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Right, let me read this and then I'm going to get to closing it. This is St. John 15. Verse 13. Verse 13. It says, greater love have no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. Ye are my friends if ye do whatsoever I command you. And he's basically calling them brothers. And when we come in this truth, you men that are aspiring to, be a reflection of Yahweh Shai, or you call yourself a man of the Lord, you're brothers to other men of the Lord, man. Because the true men of the Lord is relatives to Mashiach Yahweh Shai. Mark 3:35. Whoever do the will of my Father is my brother, mother, and sister. I want to be a brother of Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. And if I want that, that goes for the other sheep that's in this thing. That's why the other part of that law in Matthew 22:37, when it went down, was talking about loving your brother, right, as you love yourself, right? Let me just go back to that. Matthew 22. We'll read the last part where it said, verse 39, it says, and the second is like unto it, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. And that love should be an action. Everything we do in this thing when it comes to loving Yahweh Shemel Shai, that reflection is towards one another. It's just a whole cycle. You loving Yahweh Shemel Shai, that same love should be reciprocated to the other brothers and sisters of this faith. We talk about the sincere men and women. That's what every video that brothers is doing, that is love. Keep doing what you're doing, brother. It's sometimes where you might not even do a video and you reading or meditating, fasting, just thinking on the Lord. Guess what? That's still love, because you're thinking. You're seeking the Lord's face continually. You meditate on it. Man, Lord, that's amazing how you did that. I understand it, but I still can't even fathom it. Right? We want to be affectionate towards Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. So let's just close with this one. Deuteronomy 30:6. Deuteronomy chapter 30 and verse 6. And Yahweh thy power will circumcise thy heart in the heart of thy seed, to love Yahweh thy power with all thy heart and with all thy soul, that thou mayest live. And Yahweh thy power will put all these curses upon thy enemies, and on them that hate thee, which persecute thee. And through the Spirit, if the Lord is circumcising our hearts, our minds, that's how you got in this truth. The elect cannot be removed. They're going to come. It doesn't matter what time. It doesn't. If you're not an apostle, if you're not an elder, if you a prophet, and hey, it's all of the same spirit. And the body of Hamashiach is one body. Who? And that's for any brothers that's trying to be, oh, I want to be an elder, man, forget all of that. Worry about being a friend to Hamashiach Yahushai. Worry about being a relative. Worry about loving Yahweh Yahushai. Because when you get in this, however the Lord set you up, whatever position or role, that's what he set you up for. It's a good thing to get it, to be in this than to not be in this. So this is 1 Timothy chapter 1, verse 12. It says, and I thank Hamashiach Yahushai our Lord, who have enabled me, for that he come to be faithful, putting me into the ministry. Right? St. John 15:16, he said he chose us. We didn't choose him. So this ministry, we didn't choose. It chose us by Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. So you got to really evaluate, do you love the Lord enough? And a lot of us going to say, I need to do better. This not good enough. And the spirit you going to have in you, you're going to, every day, you're going to try to love him more. And then the next day, oh man, I need to do better. And then the next day come, I need to love him more. Up, still not good enough. You're always chasing to do the most for Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. If we're the sons of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, the daughters, most kids want their father to be happy. We want to make Yahweh Bashim Yahushai happy. The Lord put you on this earth to pass this test. What if you was talking to you men now? What if you was the angel that don't take this human form and live like a man? The Lord chose you for this course to live under the sun, under the place of judgment, man. We gotta right now crack down into loving the Lord, because shit is about to get real. Call on Yahweh Bashim Yahushai Bashim Kakwadash. The water Yahweh Bashim Yahushai for allowing this to come out. It was edifying to me, Lord. It was edifying to your sheep. And the honors to the elder apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well through the Spirit. In the mighty Shalom to the hopeful elect in the same Spirit, Lord, that you all can continue to endure and be sincere. And Shalom to the Akwatiyam, believers in his faith and his truth. And Lord, in the Most High, have mercy on the other brothers and sisters that's not in the faith. Shalom. Shalom.